Hi guys, thank you for joining me. So here we are. This is going to be part 2, and we are going to sew these 2 signatures to this one spine piece. Okay? And I have done part 1, and that was the signature and spine prep. Okay? I'm using this Dual Duty Plus. It's buttons and craft. It's a really nice weight thread. I don't know if you can see. That is like, it's a more stiff thread, okay? And we're going to come up one. Okay, that'll be enough. If you know me, you know I like extra thread. So, I'm going to show you something. Where did my cutting mat go? Here. I always draw on this. Okay, here's a scrap piece of paper. Let me show you something. What we're going to do is like here is our holes. I'm going to draw this bigger so you can see. And this is how I choose to do it. There's probably lots of ways to make a book, but this is how I choose to do it. Okay? So what we're going to do, and then here's our spine piece. And then this is our spine and this is our signatures, but they both have the holes. Remember, we just made these holes that line up. So what I'm doing is this. I'm coming every other one. Okay? Then on the way back, I come the opposite. And, well, not that. So then when you're done, you have a solid row of stitching. Okay? That's how I've chosen to do it. And it looks very neat when you're done. Okay? And hopefully you'll see it. I guess I could do this like with yarn or something so you could really see. But we're not going to. If you need to see this bigger, let me know. And this is going to be hidden. It's never going to see the light of day again. So we can do a couple of things here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want these pierced out chunks on the outside. I do not want to see that in between my signatures. Okay, so we're having the smooth side up. Okay, and we're just going to leave some, right? And I'm going to come up through the signature. Okay. And we're going to come out and out that hole. And we can still be real tight with this and with both signatures. It's fine. There's room. And then what I do, just so I don't have to worry about this thread, this loose thread. I have tried clipping it and stuff, but it just gets in the way. So what I've decided to do, and I've done it with the last couple and it works out well, is I just take this and I'm gonna just start tying it. And you know, I do everything in threes. Tighten that first one and tie the second one. And tie it a third time. And there. Now we know that's fine. If it's in the way, we'll just cut it off. Now we know that it's anchored fine. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to fuss with it. We don't have to clip it, anything. And that's going to be hidden in a pile of hot glue when we're done. I did learn something about hot glue that I will share. If you don't know what I'm doing, there is a part 1 to this. Maybe I'll make a book playlist. How about that? A DIY book playlist for anyone interested. Because I've made several. I just made one for my son for his birthday. And this is the same exact way. No, I figured it out. I got the mini books from Temu. I figured it out. I was inspired by them to make a mini book. and I looked at them and I thought about it and I came up with a way, and it's pretty much how I've been doing it. It has not changed no matter what size book I'm doing. Okay? And I'm not a proper bookmaker, but it's been working. So whatever size, however many signatures, I think the only thing I changed was having 2 signatures in one row of holes versus, you know, if you've got 4 signatures and you've got 4 rows of holes, then your paper's not gonna, this piece is not gonna be very strong if it's full of holes. And it just felt like it still lined up fine. By the second one, I was using 2 signatures per row. Now you can see here, you want to be careful when you're coming back through. You don't want to pierce any extra holes. So you might need to pierce from the front and then find your way from the back. But you do not want to be making any extra holes because you will see them and you don't want to see them. So part of it is finding your way neatly. And that keeps wanting to press or push, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, so I'm going to look and see. Okay, it's coming in on that side of the hole. There. Okay? And I've made several books now, and this seems to work well. And I do have some tricks for you. Okay? And you can do these any size you want. The key is small signatures and a couple more things. Small signatures though. Now looky here. Doesn't that look neat? Okay? And then these raised areas, you just smush them down the where raised area from pushing the paper through. You just smush them down with your fingernail, or you can take a bone folder through here, and that cleans those rough areas around the holes up. Okay, so now we have a very neat line of stitching. You like? And this would be bigger or littler depending on how you wanted it. It doesn't have to be, you know, millimeter apart. Then what we're going to do is, remember I said we need to make sure we're oriented, like that's upside down, because those holes, even though we pierced them at the same time, we still have a difference in our height. So this is the right way. And this will be different if your pages are patterned, because you'll have a right side up. But these are blank pages, so we do have to make sure they're oriented right. So we're going to come in through the spine piece, the inner spine piece, and we're going to come up through the signature. Okay, and there. Now we're going to come out that same hole and in the same hole. And again, we don't want to push our way through this. We want to keep this neat. Okay? We want to keep this inside row of holes neat. We don't want to be chewing it up with our needle coming back through. See what I'm saying? We want to be neat. And there. See? You can chew it up on the way out, because it's going to pierce the spine piece and you won't ever see that. But you cannot chew it up on your way back in through the spine. Okay? Wherever the inside is, you want to come back, like I just did there. You want to come up there. You want to come up through your initial hole, okay? And that I can fix with my fingernail. And one time isn't so bad, but we don't want to do that all the way up and down. Okay? And you just want to be gentle. There. I felt it with my fingernail. I flicked it a little bit to make sure to see where it was coming through. Okay, now this ends nicely. We don't have to do any jogging over or anything, but what I would do if I had to is I would, let's say this stitch was at the top and I came out this hole and I need to go back in that hole to come out here. Well, then I would just jog through the stitch or something. You can just do others. You can jump through and use your previous row of stitches to like anchor you. Like here, if I need to move that, if I need to go back out this hole, I'll just come through that stitch line and then go back out the hole. See what I'm saying? Because you want this side to look perfect. And you can use your other stitches to anchor it if you have to. And this should be aligned pretty well since we already went through all of these holes with the back. Sometimes it does get crowded in your holes and stuff, so you might need to just be careful and that you're not pushing through and making more holes, because we don't like that. There. Now we're going to pull that taut, okay? And we're going to tie this off again. It's fine. We'll just tie to the same thing. It's fine. You can use more rigid boards. You can use, there is some packaging like Sam's boxes and stuff that I've learned that are a lot more rigid than, you know, like Sam's, they package stuff together, you know, couple bulk packaging. And then I've learned some of them, like cereal boxes, full of cereal boxes, might be a little thicker than regular cereal box, you know. So you can keep your eye out, or tell someone you know that shops at Sam's to save you the rigid packaging. Okay? So we're going to call this, and then these, you can, what I did before, it doesn't matter. These are never going to see the light of day again. But if they're in your way, this is why I said I like this hook on here a little bit. This little, the bent end of this awl. Where, you know, just to get them out of your way is okay, you know. And then this is going to be adhered with a strip of hot glue when we're done. So there. So you can just pull those through just to get them out of your way. Or you can put a drop of glue on them. You can put a drop of glue stick, you know, like this, you know, and that's going to hold them out of the way for a minute, you know, just to keep them out of your way. Okay, now this is an exaggerated piece because I'm just doing an example to show you, but you can see how those two signatures went through the same row of holes and they're fine. And since we pierced our holes together, these edges are perfect. Okay, you can see that doesn't look, I mean, this edge will look like a book edge when we're done. Okay, if you're extra neat about your cutting. Okay, now I'm going to end this, and then we're going to do a part 3 cover. Okay.